turn of each page, the recite of each word brings closer the winds of heaven. Never too young, never too old to learn, to become one closer to Allah. And join our one-on-one classes to start learning the Quran today. Download QTOR and start your free trial today.
Hope you do the same. I don't follow him, I follow Muhammad alayhi salatu. And I'm going to cause those who follow you, O Jesus, to be raised higher to a position of dominance over those who've rejected you, which is the state of Israel, which is the Judeo-Zionist alliance. And when I do that, they will remain in that position of dominance until Qiyamah, until the end of the world. And so obviously, those who will fight with Nabi Isa alayhi salam, fighting for Islam, but the deen of Islam must prevail in the world, would have to be, first of all, his followers, that ummah. And in that ummah, the most dominant power today is Russia. Clearly, without any shadow of a doubt, Russia is the most powerful of all the Christian countries today. In fact, Russia is now more powerful than even NATO. So now we know very clearly that he will be assisted in waging war, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, by his people. But our ummah is also there. And our ummah will be fighting alongside him, led by the Imam al-Mahdi. And so these two ummahs will be bye-bye, fraternally related to each other, both fighting for the Imam, the Nabi Isa alayhi salam. How long will it take before the state of Israel is destroyed? How much time will elapse between that day when he comes down and he kills Dajjal and the destruction of Israel and Jerusalem is liberated? How much time would it take? Would it take 10 years? Would it take 5 years? Will it take even 1 year? Just use some common sense. The most powerful military force in the world today, Russia, is fighting with him. NATO has been destroyed in the Great War. Modern Western civilization is lying in ruins after the Great War. So who is going to stand up to support Israel, to save Israel? Who? Is it Modi? The answer is, it should not take more than a little time, maybe a few weeks, before Jerusalem is liberated. It should not take more than that, a few weeks perhaps. Not 10 years, not 15 years. But wait a minute. Before Jerusalem is liberated, and Nabi Isa has reached Jerusalem, he's attacked by Gog and Magog. You're smiling now, eh? Yeah, he's attacked by Gog and Magog. And he goes up the mountain and he prays to Allah to destroy them. And the same people who are now waging biological war with a virus, now the same virus come to attack them. and they're attacked by a virus at the top of the spine, and they all fall down paralyzed, and by next morning they're dead. This is the end of Gog and Magog. So then, बस 5 रुपया का common sense. 5 रुपया. Are you telling me that Gog and Magog are going to appear on the earth for just a few weeks? Bas, khatam. And that's the end of Gog and Magog? Where has your sense gone? This world of Islamic scholarship. All of them. I'm sorry that I have to shout, but I've been talking and teaching the subject of Gog and Magog for 25 years now, and they wouldn't listen to me. Now you have to, this pathetic spectacle, that you have to accept now that the period of time between the killing of Dajjal and the collapse of the state of Israel will be just a few weeks perhaps. And that's the lifespan of Gog and Magog. Because they say Gog and Magog will not be released until after Nabi Isa alayhi salam comes and he has killed Dajjal. And so they are released at that time, and 2-3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, they are killed. Allah destroy them. Crick, crack the wire bend, that's the way the story ends of Gog and Magog. What pathetic scholarship. And when we teach them the explanation of Gog and Magog, they will not accept it. And so wait for Judgment Day. That's my message to that world of Islamic scholarship. Wait for Judgment Day. I'm an old man now. I don't know how much longer I'll be with you. But I want it to be recorded before I leave this world, that you who refuse to accept the explanation which comes from the Quran on Gog and Magog, I say to you, wait for Judgment Day. Now then, Nabi Isa alayhi salam has killed Dajjal, and Gog and Magog have been destroyed by Allah. And now history ends with this ummah following the Imam, and this ummah following Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Our Prophet said that the Imam will live for only 7 years and die. We do not know what will happen after that. But clearly, if a Khilafah state has been restored by the Imam, and that Khilafah state is functioning with integrity, not with conventional political wisdom as in Islamabad, no, by integrity, meaning following the truth in the Quran, then if the Imam dies, then the same thing will happen as in Medina, that the Ummah will then choose an Abu Bakr Siddiq or an Umar Farooq or Usman Ghani to lead the Ummah after the Imam dies. And Nabi Isa alayhi salam would live for 40 years, that he will get married and he'll have children. And he will die, and you will pray over his body, and he will be buried next to me. Said Nabi Muhammad, he will be buried next to me. I wish I had the time to return now to this stubborn belief amongst Muslims that there's only one ummah in the end time, and Nabi Isa alayhi salam will return as ummati. There is an abundance of evidence to demonstrate that this is false. I don't have the time to give you all the evidence, but I want to give you one verse from Surah Al-Ma'idah. Just remember, this is not a solitary verse. I can give you several more, but I don't have the time. Allah speaks in Surah Al-Ma'idah, and this is what He says. And this will help us to understand what's going to happen to the Hindu world, what's going to happen to the Buddhist world, what's going to happen to the Jewish world, etc., not just the Christian world. And you should try to memorize this. لِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. To each of you, we have given a sharia, a sacred law, and a minhaj, a spiritual path, to each of you. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَجَعَلَكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. And if Allah had so desired, He could have caused you to, all of you, to become one ummah. But no, He's not done that.
The turn of each page, the recite of each word, brings closer the winds of heaven. Never too young, never too old to learn, to become one closer to Allah. And join our one-on-one classes to start learning the Quran today. Download QTOR and start your free trial today.